How has the modern parent changed?
How is the modern parent? Do you want the modern dad? Well, I'll give you the whole thing. I think there are three things that have changed about modern parenthood. First of all, we now space our kids apart according to our needs, right? We defer having kids. If you're a college-educated woman, you have your first baby at 30.3 years old.
Wow.
I know, and so you add 2 for a dad, 32.3. Second thing that I think is different is more women are in the workforce, probably than ever before. Women's workforce participation overtook men's briefly in 2012. We still have no rules and scripts about how to, divide the chores at home. And so we fight. It's a big recipe for domestic tension. And the third thing is that kids used to work, and now they don't. I mean, we work for them, basically.
I found it fascinating that you talk a lot about this goal that parents have now of having happy children, something that really came up in the 1970s, where they used to say, just be good members of society. What triggered that change?
First of all, the 20th century was the first century in which this was even deemed a reasonable expectation. We were all finally living well, right? So we were living higher up on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so food and clothing and shelter were taken care of. So this new goal emerged to be happy. And in the 70s, as you point out, when we were all finding our bliss and self-actualizing and self-realizing, this became a thing. The problem with that as a goal, by the way, though, there's no curriculum for making a happy kid. It's not like teaching somebody how to ride a bike or how to plow a field or chop wood or do math. So parents can drive themselves absolutely bananas trying to do something that might be very hard.
The father's role has certainly changed, and they're more involved. Fathers are more involved in parenting, but there's still a great divide, isn't there?
Yes, there is. I mean, women still do twice as much child care as men. Women still come home.
And working women, too.
Working women, working women, too. And working women still do more child care than they did in the 1960s, by the way. So more hours. So what's interesting is women still experience home as like a video game. They're like ducking and dodging debris because they're doing like 20 things at once. They're stirring a pot and fielding a phone call from a boss and taking
floor director is nodding.
Every woman in here and every man is nodding.
Whereas men, when they are at home, are monotasking, not multitasking.
We do that very well, by the way.
Yeah, you're outstanding at it. But I don't want to give Dad short shrift. I will tell you about the good ways if you would like me to tell you.
Oh, why not?
Oh, well, I should, though, because they are.
It is our day, after all.
It is your day. No, and so let me tell you, fathers are, come on, fathers are more engaged. They now do 3 times as much child care as they did in the 1970s. So, and that's almost, believe it or not, as much child care as women did in the 60s, as women did back then. So they're almost up to that level. They report more work-life conflict now than moms, which is fascinating. So it means that they really want to be good, involved dads, to me.
As you were researching this book, because I know you really did some extensive work, you traveled the country talking to middle-class mothers and fathers at all stages of parenting.
Yes, thank you.
What was the most fascinating thing to you about the modern family?
Oh my God, how much pressure actually is brought to bear on just these 2 people, right? I mean, you live far away from your relatives, from your in-laws if you have a college education, and it's just the 2 of you. Child care is more expensive than rent in all 50 states.
It's a
Jennifer
tough job.
Senior, thank you so much for joining us this morning.